Hello everyone, this is the Crimson Cure, welcoming you to the Crimson Tower, a place where we keep a feminine foot on the neck of the gynocracy, feminism, and black male misandry. So go ahead, pull up a chair, stay a while, and listen. Hey! How's my Crimsonites doing? Who we got in here? Can I get the lights up, please? Let's see. We got Dion. Thank you, Ruminant. Said thank you for covering this in such a timely fashion. This is a prime Black Manosphere concern. It is. This is a 10 life values bioculture around object lesson if ever there was one. Look at my Crimsonites. I had to do a dance. Hey, Jerome. No, he shouldn't have been locked up to begin with. Hey, Father's Time. We got Kinshasa. We got Dr. Michelle. We got Hood Servative. Just Jay. We got Miss Sherry, Mr. Davis, Free Will, Miss Rita Simone. How you doing? Anime JD, Buko, Free Will, Miss Georgia Peach. How you doing, sweetie? We got Fit Feminine, J Rock, Chano. Let's see. Sandra, hey C. Hey Petway, hey Lala, Sage of the Lotus. Who else? 5K, AMK. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Hey Mark. I tell y'all, this ain't just a prop. I be really in here warm. Y'all know I'm old. So she be in here warm, y'all. Hey Trouble Man, how you doing? Okay, so as the title says, Bill Cosby is free. Okay, and the Gynocracy cannot stand that he is free. I'm gonna read y'all this article. Y'all wanna read the article with me? Y'all want me to share the screen so I can read this article? Now, Bill Cosby free and somebody passed away. Do y'all know who passed away? We ain't gonna say nothing about nothing, but somebody passed away. Y'all know who passed away? Politics. Donald Rumsfeld just died. I just looked at the headline. Just before I came on here, it popped up. Donald Rumsfeld died. Y'all know who Donald Rumsfeld is. If you don't, look him up. I ain't gonna say nothing about nothing. We not gonna put on a 10-4 hijab today. Y'all always trying to make me put on a 10-4 hijab. We ain't gonna do it today. But we gonna kind of say. I ain't gonna say it. Can y'all read my lips? We ain't gonna say nothing. We gonna read this article. Because we ain't talking about him. We talking about our brother, Bill Cosby. That's free now. And we gonna read the article. We gonna see what happened. Why is he free? Let me share my screen so we can read these articles. Okay. Bill Cosby free as court overturns sex assault conviction. Bill Cosby had his conviction for sexual assault overturned by a Pennsylvania appeals court on Wednesday and was freed from prison. A dramatic reversal in a case had represented the first high-profile sexual assault trial to unfold in the aftermath of the Me Too movement. So they was trying to sacrifice our brother Bill Cosby on the gynocratic altar by making him the first real casualty of the Me Too movement. See how they always try to make a sacrifice out of a black man, out of a powerful black man. They always trying to assassinate a black man, either physically or assassinate his character or assassinate his legacy or drag his name. These are the things that they tried to do to Bill Cosby. And we ain't never known nothing of him except his comedic talent, him being the head of the Cosby Show, and all of his various different things that I remember watching Fat Albert. Fat Albert was about boys in the hood, in the projects, that was trying to be positive despite the situation that they were in. They would make little music. I would be rocking out to them little Fat Albert songs at the end. We gonna have a song for you, and we gonna show you a thing or two. Okay? We just having fun now, just me and all the gang. Okay? Y'all know, just doing our own thing. Nah, 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 we're gonna have a good time. Hey, hey, hey. All right, that's what I remember. You don't try to tarnish my memories. Always trying to traumatize somebody. You ain't gonna tarnish my memories, okay? Anyway, Mr. Cosby has served 3 years of a 3 to 10 year prison sentence at a maximum security. They put our guy in a maximum security facility like he was some type of murderer or something. At a maximum security facility outside Philly, when the 7-member Pennsylvania Supreme Court ruled that Mr. Cosby, 83, had been denied a fair trial in 2018. One of Mr. Cosby's lawyers on the appeal, Brian Perry, said that his client was released from prison shortly after 2 p.m. and was headed to his home in suburban Philadelphia. Good for him. He needs to be able to sleep in his bed with his wife and have him some peace. Anyway, the ruling upended the legal case against Mr. Cosby brought by prosecutors in Pennsylvania that began with his arrest in 2015 on charges of drugging and sexually assaulting a woman at his home in the Philadelphia suburbs 11 years earlier, a whole more than a decade. If it is even to be believed, because she's somewhere looking like Kramer, talking about he touched me. Girl, bye. Anyway, at the end of the trial in April 2018, the jury convicted Mr. Cosby, who for years had brightened America's living rooms as a beloved entertainer and father figure, of 3 counts of aggravated indecent assault against Andre Constant. We just gonna call him Andre because that is a whole girl. That's a dude. Anyway, to whom Mr. Cosby had been a mentor and who was at the time a Temple University employee. The ruling overturned the first major criminal conviction of the Me Too era and came soon after allegations of sexual assault had been made against the powerful Hollywood producer Harvey Weinstein, which they still ain't really did nothing with him. He looked like a grease ball. He ain't never been nowhere America's dad. I don't remember Harvey Weinstein making nothing that was uplifting to black folks and nobody else. He looked sweaty. Like all he do is hunch over that casting couch and sweat all day. And ain't nobody said nothing. Anyway, spurring a national conversation about sexual misconduct and assault. Mr. Constant, the woman, quote unquote, praised the guilty verdict at the time, saying truth prevails, and the National Organization for Women described it as a notice to sexual predators everywhere. But
Mr. Cosby's lawyers, who had said at the time that allegations against Mr. Weinstein would make it difficult for them to receive a fair trial, later suggested in an appeal that what they described as a period of public panic had influenced the outcome. This is Andre. Look at that jawline. We gon' roast. We gon' roast for a minute. Look at this Negro. Right here. You know, Bill is married to a very feminine woman. Camille is pretty. Even in her older age now, Camille is pretty. That's not no ugly woman. And she a feminine woman. She don't got no strong jawline. I ain't never seen her showing up looking like Kramer off of Seinfeld. Okay, I ain't never seen her do none of that. Okay, even Felicia, okay, his TV wife. Felicia's very feminine and was very pretty, mind you, and she's still a pretty lady, even at her mature age. Her and her sister Debbie are still pretty. Yeah, Dios. This is Nick Nolte's younger brother. Okay. Somewhere looking like Rao out of Fist of the North Star. If you don't know who I'm talking about, Google Rao. R-A-O-H. This is Rao from Fist of the North Star. He ain't did nothing to Rao. Alright? She don't smoke Newport, she eat them for breakfast. That's what make her jawline strong. Then she popping up, you know, standing somewhere looking like Dolph Lundgren. Don't she look like Dolph Lundgren? If he dice, he dice. Can't she say that in any minute? Any old minute. I know I'm stuck right here, but I got to roast her. I roasted her the first time. If he dice, he dice. That's what she said at the end of that trial. I bet you anything. Sitting there looking like she just beat Apollo Creed. We want you. That's how strong that jawline is. Anyway, getting away from Kramer and them. In 2019, an interim court upheld the trial verdict, but the Supreme Court, the state's highest court, agreed to consider the case. And at a hearing in December, some of the court's 7 justices questioned prosecutors sharply. In their 79-page opinion, the judges wrote that a, quote, non-prosecution agreement that had been struck with a previous prosecutor meant that Mr. Cosby should not have been even charged in the case and that he should be discharged. They barred a retrial. We ain't gonna send you through this no more. I told y'all the Gynocracy about to fall. It's about to fall because, see, it have served its purpose now. They don't need it now. They're gonna snatch the rug out from under these gynocrats' feet. But anyway, in 2005, Mr. Cosby was investigated in the case of Mr. Constant, aka Rao, aka what was his name in Rocky 4? Drago. In case of Drago, and a former district attorney of Montgomery County had given Mr. Cosby his assurance that he would not be charged in the case. The former district attorney, Bruce Castor Jr., has testified that while there was insufficient evidence to bring a criminal prosecution, he had given Mr. Cosby the assurance to encourage him to testify in a subsequent civil case brought by Drago. In that testimony, Mr. Cosby acknowledged giving quaaludes to women he was pursuing for sex. Evidence that played a key part in his trial after Mr. Castor's successors reopened the case and charged Cosby in December of 2015. That was just days before the 12-year statute of limitations expired in the case, and it came amid a number of new accusations from women who brought similar accusations of drug and sexual assault. In light of these circumstances, the subsequent decision by successor DAs to prosecute Cosby violated Cosby's due process rights. The appeals ruling said no other conclusion comports with the principles of due process and fundamental fairness to which all aspects of our criminal justice system must adhere. Mr. Perry, one of the lawyers representing Mr. Cosby, praised the ruling. "We are thrilled with the Supreme Court decision," he said. "To be honest with you, we all believed collectively that this is how the case would end. We did not think he was treated fairly, and fortunately the Supreme Court agreed." The Montgomery County District Attorney Kevin Steele said that he hoped the decision would not dampen the reporting of sexual assaults by victims. He was found guilty by a jury and now goes free on a procedural issue that is irrelevant to the facts of the crime, Mr. Steele said in a statement. "I want to commend Cosby's victim, Drago, for his bravery in coming forward and remaining steadfast throughout this long ordeal, as well as all of the other women who have shared similar experiences." Now, he's still trying to mar Cosby's name. Well, you know, he being let go on a technicality, and that don't mean he didn't do nothing. That's what he's saying right here. That's what he's saying right here. I know that I'm kind of missing these super chats, but I'm going to get back to them as soon as I kind of finish this article. It's a long article. Well, it ain't that long. So we should be able to get through. Patricia Stewart, 65, who accused Cosby of drugging and assaulting her in 1978. In 1980, I was born in 78. That was 43 years ago. Girl, you don't remember nothing from no 43 years ago. What you eat that morning at breakfast then? If you remember stuff in detail from 43 years ago. What you had for breakfast that day? What color bra you had on? What was on TV at 3 p.m. then? I want the details of the whole day. Since you remember everything, I want details from the time you woke up to the time you went to bed that day. And if you can't give me every detail of your day, from the time you woke up to the time you go to bed, how am I to understand that you recall one part of it in crucial detail? Boop. Anyway, said that she had been preparing herself for the possibility that Mr. Cosby's conviction would be overturned, but that she was still a little stunned by the court's ruling on Wednesday because a black man ain't supposed to escape. These are palm-colored women, mind you. Even Drago. And he is not supposed to be getting out of this. I don't care how old them accusations is. When Karen say a black man have done something to her, then that is to be upheld for all time, everywhere. Do you understand that? So this is why the Gynocracy is mad. But we're going to get into some things. I'm feeling sad because this is absolutely a perceived loss on my part, said Miss Stewart, who said she found out about the decision on Facebook. I'm wondering what the 43-year ordeal that I went through was supposed to be about. Didn't I say it was 43 years old? Because I was born in 78. I know how old that is. But she said she was consoled by the fact that I believe we did the only thing we could, which is to come forward and tell the so-called truth. Scott Berkowitz, the president of RAIN, the Grape Abuse and Incest National Network, said we are deeply disappointed in today's ruling by Pennsylvania Supreme Court and by the message that this decision sends to the brave survivors who came forward to seek justice for what he did to them. This is not justice. Felicia Rashad, who appeared as the Mr. Cosby's wife on the Cosby Show, praised the decision on Twitter. Finally, Ms. Rashad, who was recently named the dean of Howard University's College of Fine Arts, wrote on Twitter, "A terrible wrong is being righted. A miscarriage of justice corrected." Thank you, Auntie Felicia Rashad. Thank you, Auntie. The decision undoes a verdict that several women who said that they had been assaulted and raped by Mr. Cosby had praised at the time as a measure of justice that had been long in coming. In a victim impact statement filed with the court in 2018, Drago has said that Mr. Cosby, we may never know the full extent of his double life, but his decades-long reign of terror is over. Girl. These are the types of things said about black men. Now, we ain't got no proof other than her word, mind you. There was no proof presented. I didn't see no proof. I saw women saying something. A bunch of gibberish. That's what I saw. I didn't see any hardcore evidence, because when you reach back to the last 59 years, ain't no DNA evidence. Your memory can't be counted on. So what is we really doing? Anyway, Plastic Dickinson, Janice the Plastic, you know what? Janice Plastic Dickinson, a former model who had told the court that he her in 82 after giving her a pill as if you had not been taking pills. Ma'am, you take pills now. So I'm to believe that you was innocently free of all what's the word I'm looking for? When you are under the influence, you was free of all influences. Plastic Man, knock it off. Okay. Anyway, her account was one of 5 women the prosecution presented for women who said that he had assaulted them after the sentencing. That my heart is beating out of my chest at the moment. Girl, bye. Your heart beating out your chest because all them Vicodins you don't get your stream flagged. Okay? You can't get it flagged. It's got to stay up. Okay, ma'am? Yes, ma'am. Okay. One twin. Y'all just witnessed one twin talk to the other one. Okay. In 2018, she said, "This is fair and just. I am victorious." A lawyer for Drago, Dolores Troiani, declined the comment on Wednesday, saying that her legal team was still reviewing the decision. The issue of whether the trial court had improperly allowed additional women to testify was not considered because the panel ruled that Mr. Cosby had relied to his detriment on Mr. Cass's promise and then made statements in a civil case that were effectively used as evidence against him. 3 of the justices dissented from the majority opinion. Justice Thomas Saylor disagreed that the statement Mr. Castor made in a news release represented an unconditional promise that bound his successor not to prosecute. Justice Kevin Doherty, in a separate opinion in which he was joined by Justice Max Baer, found that though Mr. Cosby's due process rights had been violated when he relied on Mr. Castor's promise and testified in a civil case, the remedy should not have been barring further prosecution but throwing out the evidence the prosecution gained from Mr. Cosby's testimony. Sidney Ember, Julia Jacobs, and Matt Stevens reported. Okay. That was a little lengthy. I'm going to show y'all something else before I really take this off. These are his accusers. It's always a brown spotted hyena following up after white spotted hyenas. Always one in the group following up behind your little master. Little bootlicking self. Try to bring down a black man and his whole legacy off of some alleged things that may or may not have even transpired in the first place. Anyway, this is this Victoria Valentino. She was a Playboy bunny 100 years ago. Okay? Back when she had to hunt her own bunny for the ears. You see what I'm saying? I'm not gonna read this article because it's basically the same, but I just wanted you to see these pictures. This is her. This is a close-up of her. Girl, bye. I just wanted y'all to get a good look so when I roast her as we go, y'all will understand why. So, I know I missed super chats. Thank you, AMK. So I just subscribed and put my notifications on. You speaking my language. Thank you so much. Y'all, some of y'all comments, y'all is silly in this chat room. I am not even gonna go there. Thank you, Ronan. So I refuse to believe Mr. Cosby smashed Egon Spankler. Yeah, you know, he catching ghosts in the interim. You see what I'm saying? Thank you, sheeps that support my sister and the one who's in charge of the girl. I'm in charge of the girls, okay? Thank you, sweetheart. A-Game family. Thank you, TD. Tell them so that chick looks like Gozer from the end of the first Ghostbuster movie. Looking like, what's her name? Made me think of it. Old girl that played in the Ghostbusters. Looking like Sigourney Weaver's older brother. Thank you, Torrance. And this reaction from Palm Colored about this is reminiscent of the OJ trial verdict. Heads are exploding like in that scene from the movie Kingsman. Right. Thank you, Taboo Smash. I'm just trying to get to everybody, and then I can keep on. Thank you, Father Sound. Said Andre looking like Troy Aikman after the court case without a helmet. She threw for 350 yards and 3 touchdowns. And scrambled for one. It was one, run. It was one run in there as well. Thank you, Truth Teller. Thank you so much. Y'all is silly. But there are a lot of things to unpack when we get done laughing and joking at it, because it is a lot to roast. But there's also a lot to say. Okay, there's also a lot to say. Dude look like Vinny Testaverde. I forgot about Vinny Testaverde. I'm not looking at this chat room, no boy. No, I'm not. I am not. How you gonna sit up there and say Vinny Testaverde? That's the only time I ever watched Tampa Bay. Cause of Vinny Testaverde. I never watched them again. I never watched Tampa Bay after that. I'm done. I'm not reading that. Okay. So this is what, so we have to go back to why this happened in the first place. Why did this transpire in the first place? Do we remember what Bill Cosby was trying to do prior to all of these charges and sentencing? What was he in the midst of trying to do? Stop reading that chat room and you won't have to stop. You understand that? And why do I have to stop you in the middle of a live stream and tell you stuff? Stop reading that chat room so that you can get through these points. Do you understand that? Do you? Well, act like you understand it then. Okay? I'm not gonna stop and tell you that no more. Stop doing that. I always got to come out and check you. Stop that. That's the twin talk again. Y'all think I be playing with twin talk. But that's how my twins talk to each other. Thank you, Kareem, for the cash apps. Do we remember what he was trying to do? He was trying to purchase NBC. Exactly. Exactly. Thank you, SAO. Alan Works, thank you so much for the cash app. Exactly, BK Born Shahid should have never got the grand jury approval. That's why it was really overturned. He was trying to buy NBC. Now, the significance, we kind of get the significance of that. But the Crimsonites should truly now understand the significance of Bill Cosby trying to purchase NBC. Somebody said Jeff Hornacek. Trying to purchase NBC. NBC is what part of this? NBC is what part of this? Where does NBC fall? Y'all tell me. I need a little participation and I need the likes up. We got 224. Let's get the likes. We got 177. So thumbs up, please, 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 please. It belongs to culture. Now, if you've been here a little while, you know that black people operate the fastest off of which change? Culture. As America's dad, what had Bill Cosby already influenced? What did he already influence? He had already influenced culture, which in turn began to influence environment. Remember that environment has within it the institutions. It says legal, the law of the land, structures, housing, institutions, industries, transportation, hospital, businesses, schools, banking. Okay, so his influence his cultural influence began to influence the environment, which includes the institution of school, higher education to be exact, because due to the Cosby Show and its spinoff, A Different World, what happened? What did black people start doing? Black people started enrolling in colleges, particularly HBCUs. He did, Vanya. He made it cool to be in school. He made it a cool thing culturally for black people in general and black men in particular to be going to school and, you know what I'm saying, taking education serious, and that was a good thing. Which would have changed our biology, and he was trying to change biology. The infamous or the famous, whichever way you want to look at it, pound cake speech, right? And anytime that Bill was trying to instill a value system, he was trying to tell young men, pull your pants up, stop sagging and, you know, destroying your community and things of this nature. You gotta have a better value system. You gotta have more worth. You gotta have a better handle on your internal five. You gotta have a better handle on your appearance value. You gotta have a better handle on your dwelling value. Don't be all around in your neighborhood, hanging out all on the corner, you know, and this and that. You gotta have your family value intact. Any of you that's got kids, you don't want to be a deadbeat and things of that nature. You gotta have your spiritual and your health. Okay, he began to talk about the internal five. Okay? Something that people balked against when he said it then, and truth be told, they balking against it now, even here in this space. When we get to talking about the internal five, don't nobody want to hear about that. But every black man that gains power, that begins to understand Bioculture and how that works, and begin to understand the importance of a value system, always talk about the internal five. They always talk about it. They never leave it out. And we can't say that he was a poor righteous teacher, because he's richer than a lot of folks put together will ever be in their lifetime. Even with the hit he just took with all of them legal fees and paying lawyers and stuff, he's still wealthy. Now, I'm going to touch on something with the gynocracy, because you will have some gynocrats. Thank you, Miss Sherry, for the cash app. You will have you some gynocrats that try to say, well, you know, when he cheated on his wife and blah, 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 blah. Maybe he did. Maybe he did. But whose marriage was it? You wasn't married to him. Camille was. And if she decided to stay and support her husband, that ain't took no skin off of your nose. None at all. He wasn't always an old man. Bill Cosby was a young man. A rich young man. He got married to secure his legacy. I'm not saying he didn't love his wife and his children, but the marriage is to secure legacy. Because I bet you whenever he loved her now. Because she's stuck. She's stuck there. She's stuck behind. Through the trials and tribulations. Trying to make a mockery of the man's name. Trying to destroy everything that he has ever stood for. It ain't nobody's business that Camille has stayed. And I'm talking to the black Gynocrats right now, because y'all are still trying to feel some type of way about him because of what he may or may not have done in the course of his marriage. She stayed, y'all stay for more garbage for less men. Y'all stay for more garbage from lesser men. Because y'all will stick around an F-19 that don't do nothing but have a bunch of babies and go upside your head. But I love him now, and I don't care who he be with. My baby daddy always gonna be with me. That's y'all. He ain't married you. He ain't committed to you now time. He won't even tell you he love you, nothing like that. He don't take you nowhere. He don't show you off to nobody. You done popped 3 kids and you still don't know what his mama look like, because he won't take you over there. Didn't nobody say nothing when Hillary stood by Bill. Nobody said nothing. When Jackie Kennedy wouldn't leave. After the whole Marilyn Monroe and Mr. President and all that foolishness, Jackie didn't go nowhere. He had to be assassinated for Jackie to move on. Jackie moved on when her husband was gone. That's when Jackie moved on. Whatever you think about what the status of the Clintons is, her last name still Clinton. I know that. And they ain't raising kids no more neither. Chelsea is grown and ugly. Okay? She grown and ugly. They ain't raising no kids no more. So it ain't nobody's business what Camille and Bill Cosby have gone through or not gone through in their relationship. That is not your business. Because let's just talk real talk. Let's just talk real talk. He probably was out there slaying dragons. I'm talking about Bill Cosby. All in the 70s, all in Hollywood, at the height of his career, and all of that. You know, in the 70s, he had did Let's Do It Again. And, what was it? Uptown Saturday Night, was it? That was my daddy's favorite movies. Do y'all understand? My daddy's favorite movies. That's where the characters, Biggie Smalls and all of them come from. Them old movies. And he probably was. You know, them women was out there throwing it at him. gonna dodge all of them bullets like that. He just ain't gonna do it. So he probably was. Whatever the private conversations were between him and Camille, we'll never know that. But the outcome was that she has always been there. She had his kids. And she had his commitment. And she had his legacy. And if she lived longer than him, she gonna inherit all of it. Them children are grown. They have gone through the loss of a child. Enos, when they killed his son. And they went through it together. Whatever he was or was not doing, that marriage stayed together. Y'all stay for more BS, and when y'all get married, you leave for less. Long as he ain't committed to you, you gynocrats, y'all will stay and he'll put you through hell and high water, and you'll stay. Talking about how much you love him. As soon as he marry you, if he do one thing you don't like, you ready to divorce him at least, and some of y'all ready to kill him. So I don't want to hear nothing about what Camille should or should not have done. Camille did what a wife do. She knew, first of all, which side of the bread the butter was on. And she understood, I'm the one with the upper hand. Whoever he dealing with out in these streets, they ain't finna get nothing but a hard Johnson and some bubble gum, and he don't like bubble gum. All they about to get is a pudding pop. You understand that? That's all they finna get is a pudding pop. That's all they got. That's all they got coming. You know how we are, women. You know how women are. Just long as you don't embarrass me with that. That's all you gotta do. That's all I ask. Is don't embarrass me. Don't bring me no outside diseases and don't have them 304s calling me and worrying me and my kids. Don't do that to me. You know that's how we do, ladies. You know that's how we do it. Hey, just hey. Keep it out in the street. That's all I ask you to do is keep it in the street. Just don't bring it home. When you come home, you come home. You come out from the road, you done did a tour, you know, you been out for a couple of months shooting a movie and all of that kind of stuff. I came through a few times and stuff like that. Just keep it in the street. That's all I want you to do. And a man that know what side of the bread the butter is on as well will agree to that. All right. We'll keep this on the low. Whatever I do or don't do, I won't bother you with that. I won't let that touch you or my children or the stability of my home. This is why I talk about understanding male nature. This is why I talk about male nature the way that I do. Because as women, we have to understand who they are. We have to understand who men are. They try to hide it to spare our feelings, but they gotta be who they are. Especially if he's powerful, If he has leadership, if he has SOS, he got money, he got status, 9 times out of 10, there's another woman somewhere that enjoy at least a part of him. If it ain't nothing but getting smashed at 3 a.m. This is why I tell y'all, stop trying to check up behind that man and checking his phone and all. You're going to find something that you don't want to see. I'm telling you, I have never checked my man's phone ever. He had to pass away from this world before I picked up that phone and went through it. And I went through it to get the numbers for his family members to tell him he had passed away. Whatever text messages and I don't care about none of that. I don't care about none of that. Cause if you do me real dirty, I'ma leave. If I can't take this and I'm getting treated like dirt and dirt and dirt and dirt and dirt, I'm gone. But if you ain't gonna go nowhere, and most of you not, let's keep that real. Then let that man have other women in peace, because you ain't about to go nowhere. Okay? You ain't went nowhere. You accept him and his 2 other baby mamas. Okay? All you did was be mad. And then you stayed with him anyway. So what was the difference? I bet not catch nothing else in your phone. Girl, bye. Boop, bye. Nobody thinking about all that. All he gonna do is try to hide it a little better. That's all. If he do that. I'm telling y'all. That's why I don't look. I don't look. My man ain't gotta hide nothing from me. Cause I'm not looking anyway. I don't care what you did on your phone. I don't want your password. I ain't trying to sneak at night while you sleep and put your thumb on the thumb recognition button. I don't care. The God's honest truth about it is I don't care. I don't care what you do out in them streets, long as you don't bother me with it. The day I start getting bothered with it is when we'll have a conversation about that. If I pick up that phone and that trick you got call me, I'm gonna cuss her all the way out. And then me and you gonna have a talk. How that trick get my number? I don't even go through your phone. And you mean to tell me she went through the phone to get my number out of it? You better keep that trick on a leash. Because she out of context. Tell her don't call me no more if she know what's good for her. Don't call me no more. I hope y'all understand that part of it. I'm not going to dwell here because there's other things to unpack, more important things. But this, I was talking to the Black Gynocracy, because y'all like to try to have black men be, castigated and all that kind of stuff off of what he doing in his relationship with a whole nother woman, and you ain't even none of his woman. Shut up. Because if you was married to Bill Cosby, you wouldn't have went nowhere either, not if you had any sense. Because I ain't never heard of him having no scandal before this stuff. And they drugged this out because of the NBC thing. It all go back to that. It all go back to the NBC thing. It all goes back to his influence over the culture. See, one thing that they needed to do was they needed to remove that view of him as a wholesome, heterosexual, strong black man, husband, and father. They needed to get rid of that. This is why no other type of scandal could do it but this kind, where there was some type of accusation of sexual assault. It had to be this kind. It couldn't have been nothing about embezzlement or money or some business things or any of that. It had to be something that would mar his character as a man. Okay? They had to ruin and assassinate his character. They could not just say, oh, well, he was doing bad business, blah, blah, blah. Because we can overlook that. We just going to say, well, he was getting a bag. He wasn't doing no more than what y'all do to get a bag. Oh, and? Thank you, Charles Irby. He wasn't doing nothing no different than y'all do to get a bag. Ain't nobody trying to hear all that. Get your money, Bill. Get your money, Bill. That's what we would have been doing. But you have to attack him at his internal five. You have to attack him and call into question not only his public face, but his private face. And he was living a double life as a sexual assaulter. So you gotta say he was living a double life. You gotta say that all of that talk about morality and having a spiritual base and having value system was all cap. You gotta say that's cap. You gotta look at Bill and say he was capping. Because if we say he was capping, then that means that his value system that he was talking about it didn't work. It doesn't work. See, we have to understand the game that they played. It wasn't even about the females. It wasn't even about any evidence. Remember, he was convicted without any substantial physical evidence that says he was guilty. This was all circumstantial, hearsay. This is what this was about. But we have to understand why. Because if you call into question Bill Cosby's value system in his personal life and then crumble his life, you get to say that his value system was for crap and it didn't help him escape the gynocracy, which in turn delivers the message that no matter how you try to change your value system, you're never gonna get off the plantation. That's what's cap. That's the lie. The lie is that you can't change your value system. And even if you do, whatever value system you come up with is going to be inferior to the one that we gave you. That's the lie. And Bill's freedom today proved a flaw in that they had to recognize in their environment, which composes also of the justice system. The court system. See, they had to go back over it and say, what? We gonna have to let him go. Well, why? Well, a technicality, really. He wasn't supposed to be charged in the first place, y'all. Don't ever think that they didn't know that to begin with. Okay? Understand. They knew about what that previous DA had done. They knew that. Thank you, J Rock. So they always go after black men that are influential to the culture or are about to gain immense power and wealth. Yes. And this is why I'm explaining why they do that. Right? They knew about that previous prosecutor. You can't tell me that they didn't know that. You can't tell me that they didn't know that. That's not new information to them. But they decided to bypass the information to see could they get away with prosecuting him anyway. Because he's the sacrifice. They was gonna sacrifice Bill Cosby on the altar of the gynocracy. A black man. It's got to be a black man. This is why they didn't do Harvey Weinstein. This is why they picked Bill. Harvey had way more recent accusations that were more compelling, but he doesn't serve as the sacrifice. Black men have to be sacrificed. Straight ones. Straight black men have to be the sacrifice. Because it is the heterosexual black male that can wield the power in the community. They can wield it. Nobody else. Not the effeminate black man, because he is in chaos energy, and not women. Only the heterosexual black man is feared by the gynocracy and its predecessor. This is why the destruction of all of the various Tulsas, because there was not one. We say Tulsa because that's the one that's readily in the forefront of our minds, but trust and believe that that was not the only one. There were many, all of them destroyed because black heterosexual men were in ownership of their biology, able to influence their culture and control their environment. They can't have that. They can't have that. That is unacceptable to palm-colored survivalism and the gynocracy. It's unacceptable. But this is why it can't just be one or two black men. It has to be the collective that understand Bioculture and understand the importance of the value system. Has to be more than one or two, because they could pick off one or two. It has to be the consensus of black men, regardless of the spiritual path you choose, and these different things. Has to be a majority, has to be a collective of black men that understand these concepts. And not only do they understand the concept, but they enact the concept in their personal lives. This is why it's important that we grasp first this. We have to grasp the understanding of bioculture, because we know what biology, culture, and environment are. They are standalone, because people and their biology influence what the culture is, which influences how the environment is set up. These are just the basic bedrocks of human civilization. However, when a transformation is necessary, that is when bioculture becomes something that you do, because it is the confluence of change for all three at the same time, typically in one generation. It happens quickly. The changes happen quickly. It's not something that's 100 years. It don't take that long. If you want to influence or change the value system of a group, a country, or an individual, you have to change those three things at the same time, because that is the bedrock of human civilization. This is how we understand interaction between us. This is how the human being understands interactions between us. Okay? I'm gonna get to the cash apps in a minute. We have to understand how these things interact so that we can understand the transformations. Because biology, culture, and environment is not transformative on their own. Or if you only change one of them, that does not create a transformation. Only when all three. Only when all three. I am warm. Do y'all know that? Let's see. You know I got my notes. I think that's about all I have for you, more or less. But I want it to be known that I consider Bill Cosby's freedom to be a victory. I consider it a victory. It is not many times that black men are able to overcome being railroaded, having a character assassinated, having their legacies destroyed. It's not a lot of times that black men can overcome that. It's not. This is a victory. I was so shocked when I saw the headline, and I'm like, good. Because he should have never been locked up to begin with. It was bogus in the first place. I never believed it. It just seemed like a sham and a scam to put him away, hoping that he die in prison so that they can try to divvy up his estate and get his money and just ruin his name and all of this other stuff. That's what I never wanted him to go through none of that. Bill Cosby did not deserve any of that. None of it. What may or may not have happened in his personal life is his personal life. But what he was doing for the community, the concern that he had, the things that he was trying to put in place, he was doing what black people always accuse rich black people of not doing, of going out, getting their money, getting themselves established, and then leaving the community behind. And he didn't do that. He didn't do that. He was always trying to help black children, black young adults. He was always trying, he was using his fatherly figure influence to do right by the black community. That's what he was trying to do. And I say he did a good job. Like I said, the Cosby Show, going back to Fat Albert and all that, he always tried to put positive imagery on the screen for black children to look up to, so that they wouldn't have to look up to, you know, the other people's depiction of black people. He was trying to put something on the screen that we could say, okay, this is part of our culture and we proud of that. So So much money he gave to the HBCUs. So much mentorship. For all of the other people that black people love, what are they doing? Oprah's a billionaire. What has she done for the black community but tear down black men and reinforce stupid feminism to black women? What else? What has she done? When she made a school, it was for girls and it was across the sea. What has she done? All them chicks that was all over the BET Awards, what did they do? What have they done for the black community? Nothing. I ain't see him do nothing. They hated on Bill for talking about pull your pants up. He was just talking about some accountability. That's all. That's all he was trying to do, is say that we needed to value ourselves better than what we was doing. Just like they don't like how Monique is talking about these bonnets. It's the same difference. Trying to tell you something for your good. So I never wanted to see Bill go through none of this. Because they always tearing down one of ours that's trying to do good. They always tear them down. And it be black women too that be, you know what I'm saying, right on the money with trying to tear somebody down. A black man try to tear him down. Always right there, ready, you know what I'm saying, and willing to make sure that a black man's legacy is tarnished completely. That's why the Gynocracy is canceled. And this was a blow to them. And I'm glad about that. He needs to be able to rest in his own bed that he worked so hard for. That man didn't put in all that work to sit up in one of y'all and rot in one of y'all penitentiaries like some common criminal, like that's what he been doing all his life. That man has been putting in work on the screen, off the screen, in real life, in real time. And he didn't deserve to have to be put through that kind of stuff. He deserved to be able to retire and live comfortably and live peacefully with his family. And not have nobody trying to comfort him. Because I had read that he said he was ready to serve all 10 of them years rather than cop a plea like he had done something. And I don't blame him. He said he was ready to do them. You ain't gonna make me cop no plea and say I'm guilty for doing some stuff I ain't doing. Thank you, Gold Professor. I ain't seen none of these gynocrats build nothing substantial for the community. Even when they be trying to do black girls rock and black girls, that ain't substantial either. Because that's just perpetuation of the gynocracy. Nothing substantial about that. There's nothing awesome about that. There's nothing good about it. All that they do is prop up things that are going to help the gynocracy exist. That's all that they do. You know a gynocrat by the fruit of her work. If everything she do is a tarnishment to black men, if they go against anything that challenges her value system, that goes against any order, that go against structure, that go against leadership, that there you have a gynocrat. And everything that she prop up is just more the same. That's about all I got for y'all, but thank you, Beyond. It's been a long time. It's an excellent stream. I'm total agreement. Great seeing you still standing strong. Thank you, and welcome back. Hope to see more of you. Thank you, Miss Walker for the Cash App and Jay for the cash apps. So we need to celebrate this as a victory. One for black men, man. That man get to go home. Because that's how the gynocracy was going to do him. Make that man rot in a cell somewhere. That ain't justice. That ain't justice. That's not righteous. There's nothing righteous about that. That ain't sit well with me, and I know it didn't sit well with nobody else that had their head on their shoulders. And I'd like to see more of these victories for black men, where they can stand tall. And the black women who don't go for that gynocratic mess, we stand behind them and support them in having their agency. That's the best thing about it. He gets to have his agency back. Control over his own biology. He gets to say when he get up, when he sleep, when he eats. Instead of having somebody in an institution somewhere telling that grown man what he should and should not be doing, and when and how. Always trying to reduce black men back to boys. Ain't nobody got time for that. He not no boy. Much respect to Bill Cosby. Much respect to his family and those that actually stood by him and didn't abandon him. Whatever his support system was consisted of, you know what I'm saying? Much respect to those people as well. Nothing but respect for Dr. William H. Cosby. I'm not ready to just throw my black men in just because, you know, the news outlets and this and that say he guilty of something that I should throw him away. I'm not throwing him away. They don't throw theirs away. I don't care what he doing. And I'm not throwing mine away either. I'm not. Like, I'm feeling good. Thank you, go professors that become a Crimsonite, put some money into the plate, bills out. We rock with that. Yeah, we rock with that. I'm rocking with that. We talk about black male agency in this space. We talk about black men being able to overcome these things. So when we see it happen in real time, we gotta talk about it. We gotta celebrate with them. Ain't no way you can let it pass and don't say nothing. Because it seemed like the Gynocracy always get the upper hand. And I'm tired of seeing that. So anyway, like I said, much respect to Dr. Cosby. Because you ain't gonna make us disrespect his title either. And all those who stuck by him, much respect, much love. I'm glad he's out. I'm glad that they can't do a retrial either. That's very important. It's very important that they can't try him again. Something else to make black men victorious. Some A-game. If you want to be part of the A-game family, it is super simple. All you got to do is go into the description box, click the link for A-game at agameherbal.com and get a 10% discount off of your next purchase using the code Kendra10. That's KENDRA, the number 10. This addresses male overall health, which increases his vitality, his strength, his energy, and his libido as well by addressing his blood circulation, okay? So this is what you need. Again, description box. agameherbal.com is the link. Kendra10 is the code to get your 10% discount and have your box of A Game being sent to you ASAP, okay? I want to thank everybody for coming through. Want to thank everyone for contributing through Super Chat, Cash App, everyone that was in the chat. Thank you so much. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye-bye, Crimsonites.
Please share and subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. And if you've got more to say on the topic, leave a comment down below. Also, don't forget to support our sponsor, who so graciously supports this channel by clicking the description box and the link for A Game at agameherbal.com. You can go ahead and get a 10% discount off of your next purchase using the code Kendra10. This has been yet another Crimson Cure production, and I'll catch you guys